The year is 2010, a time when gaming masterpieces like Red Dead Redemption and the return of StarCraft captivated us. It's also the year I graduated from college, thus reaching the peak of my life. Yet this new era was truly defined by the release of what is arguably one of the greatest games ever made, Mass Effect 2. In 2010, the gaming world was at the apex of a revolution. The release of Mass Effect 2 came at a time when the cultural landscape was shifting and gaming was becoming more than just a pastime. It was becoming a sensation. This is right before some of the most iconic YouTubers on the platform got on board, so this was maybe one of the last few games you enjoyed before watching other people play video games on YouTube. It was also a time when Mr. Beast was only 12 years old. It was within this vibrant and rapidly evolving landscape that Mass Effect 2 emerged. Mass Effect 2 is celebrated for its deep character development, polished gameplay, and mainstream appeal, marking a high point in BioWare's influence. It shifted the series towards a shooter-first light RPG format, enhancing combat and introducing Paragon Renegade interrupts for dynamic conversations. The game successfully blended episodic storytelling with the cohesive main narrative, making it a modern classic in sci-fi RPGs. The game's memorable moments include things such as Shepard's death in the opening, the emotional recruitment loyalty missions, romance, and the intense suicide mission. What truly elevated Mass Effect 2 for me was its deeply resonant narrative, which struck an emotional chord like no other game. The dramatic tone was set from the very beginning with a gripping opening sequence, where the destruction of the Normandy and Shepard's apparent demise immediately hooked players. The suicide mission stands as the emotional pinnacle of the game, a high-stakes, heart-pounding climax that reflects the intricate choices and relationships meticulously crafted throughout the journey. The constant threat of losing beloved squad members based on my decisions infused every moment with a palpable sense of tension. While some might say the main plot of Mass Effect 2 didn't quite hit as hard as the original, its real magic was how it zoomed in on the personal stories of its characters within the larger Mass Effect universe. This focus made the game feel like a soap opera in space, and I'm here for it.
Hi, Niket. You were my friend. You helped me get away from my father.
Yes, because you wanted to leave. That was your choice. But if I'd known that you'd stolen a baby...
I didn't steal her. I rescued her.
Mother. Do not call me that. I can't choose to stop being your daughter. Mother.
The loyalty missions deep dive into each character's backstory and provide emotionally charged experiences. What really stood out for me was the sophisticated dialogue system and cinematic flair. The blend of voice acting, facial animations, and camera work turned simple dialogue into powerful storytelling moments.
That's not fair. You were dead.
I came back.
Yes, you came back. And now you'd rather pass time with Miss Lawson and her low-cut jumpsuit.
Man, I feel like an asshole. Mass Effect 2 steps up its game by leaning heavily into a third-person cover-based shooter, making it way easier and more fun to get into. You can mix and match different abilities and weapons to handle all sorts of enemies and scenarios, which kept things interesting. However, I think my personal favorite addition to the game were the Paragon and Renegade interrupts. As a Paragon, these moments might involve a compassionate gesture or a noble action.
Besides, I just spent 50 credits on this pistol and I want to use it.
Get your money back.
Hey, what are you...
Trust me, kid. You'll thank me later.
However, choosing Renegade interrupts is much more fun because it lets you channel your inner badass, but mostly it provides for great comedy material.
You're working too hard.
I've got nothing more to say to you. If you shoot...
How about goodbye?
Other standout moments are where the game took you. Omega in Mass Effect 2 is the galaxy's ultimate dive bar, a seedy, neon-lit space station where lawlessness is the law. Ilium is a significant location in the game Mass Effect 2. It's known for its high-rise buildings, neon lights, and advanced technology, presenting a stark contrast to many of the more war-torn and chaotic regions of the galaxy. Tuchanka is a planet ravaged by centuries of nuclear warfare. Its surface is scarred by craters and ruins, with a climate that is extremely harsh and often hazardous. When we returned to the Citadel in Mass Effect 2, I felt a wave of nostalgia mixed with a sense of what's changed since I was last here. Apparently, it's now a mall where players can find shops, clubs, and various NPCs offering missions and interactions. Each location, with its distinct atmosphere and significance, collectively showcases the rich diversity of environments and cultures, immersing players in the complex, multifaceted universe of Mass Effect 2. The audio design of Mass Effect 2 is a pivotal element that significantly enhances the game's immersive experience. The sound design for weapons and biotic powers is both distinct and impactful, delivering clear audio feedback during combat. Each weapon type has its own unique sound, and biotic powers are accompanied by ethereal, otherworldly effects, making every encounter feel dynamic and engaging. And let's not forget the explosive sound effects that made witnessing the destruction of the Normandy feel like a cinematic experience. Without a great soundtrack, Mass Effect 2 wouldn't be the Mass Effect 2 we all know and love today. The soundtrack masterfully enhances the atmosphere of various locations and situations, creating a rich sense of place and mood that draws players deeper into the game world. For instance, the chill, laid-back vibe of the music in Afterlife makes me just want to relax with a drink and lose myself. Please someone make this into an actual thing and play the same song over and over. Afterlife contrasts sharply with the intense adrenaline-pumping track during the suicide mission, making the Normandy's escape feel incredibly epic. Mass Effect 2 significantly influenced subsequent games in the series, setting a new standard for character-driven storytelling and player choice. The game's emphasis on loyalty missions and meaningful choices became a hallmark of the series, shaping player expectations for narrative depth and consequence. In the broader gaming landscape, Mass Effect 2 is often cited as a benchmark of quality in RPG design. Its blend of action, narrative, and player choice has inspired numerous other games, contributing to a shift towards more story-centric and character-focused game development. Naturally, we can't discuss Mass Effect 2 without acknowledging its predecessor. Let's journey back to 2007, when Mass Effect 1 first captivated gamers and set the stage for an epic saga.